Hi.
I'm Jill.
And I'm Kayla.
And we are...
I Wanna Wear Your Skin! Oh, no!
Jesus Christ!
I swear to God, I didn't shake that or anything.
That was like...
Oh, I sprayed you.
Fucking cum shot all over my face.
God. I'm not a single bit got on me. I am so sorry.
How?
I don't know.
It was all on me.
It all just projectile sprayed on you.
I was just telling Kayla that I wanted to make a compilation audio of us opening up cans. That one's gonna be the kicker.
Oh, well, I think you're awake now, because
Here I am.
That was my Halloween spooky trick for you.
Such a spoopy open.
A spoopy.
So, if this is your first time joining us, perhaps you heard about us from our good friends over at The Bad Copy.
The Bad Copy.
Your favorite online resource for punk news, entertainment,
reviews, show highlights,
fun things.
Yeah, for real. It's an incredible website.
We love it. We love the people that work on it and contribute to it. I'm eating a peanut butter cup.
But we don't want you to think that because we're eating Halloween candy, that means we're not excited. We're
very excited. I just really like peanut butter cups.
So you can find us on the featured sections on their website, and they have a couple of their podcasts on there. They also have our good friend Sean, who is a photographer and plays in a band called Three Fingers. He does portraits. Yeah, that's new.
Right.
He does portraits of punks around the scene, and he also took photos of us for his featured page. So you can see what our faces look like if you want to do that.
Yeah. Or you should do that, see what our faces look like. Then you can join our Patreon and see what our faces look like when we're, like, live action.
Yeah, when we're talking in our everyday life. Like, this is just
our everyday life.
This is me on a Monday. I'm wearing horror pajamas and a Little Mermaid shirt, who is a punk and goth and has tattoos and shit.
I'm wearing a Tricky Mouse shirt that I got at Target. And then my Target Halloween socks, which Patreon subscribers are seeing right now. But yeah, we're super stoked to be featured on The Bad Copy. We love them. Check out all the other shit that they have on the site. But if you just found us because of that and you've never listened before, Kayla and I are trash humans. We have nothing else to our name.
Pure garbage animals.
And we watch Lifetime movies, Lifetime original movies.
Because we have no taste in entertainment.
And then we just talk about how much we hate ourselves and the movies.
Yeah, because we got drunk one night and we were like, why don't we do a podcast? And then it was like, why don't we do a podcast on a channel that's supposed to be for women by women? And then we watch it, and it's just like, oh, y'all hate women.
Yeah, we should have done, like, Oxygen.
We should have done... Oxygen really, really actually appreciates ladies a little bit better than Lifetime.
Our moonlighting podcast will be all about the Bad Girls Club.
For real. And so we just rip up Lifetime shit and talk about how bad
problematic.
It is. And fun it is.
But fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Well... Let's not say always, Kayla.
Okay.
That's why we drink.
Yeah, I just, new listeners, want to, start them off with some positivity.
We are fun.
Whatever.
But I'm not going to say that the movies are always fun. Okay?
Fair.
We are entertaining. Everyone loves us. That's what we are a 5-star podcast.
This is what we say to each other alone in a room. Talking to each other. Everyone loves us.
Dog farts and
everything's great. We're great.
Life's perfect.
Let's watch Lifetime movies.
So anyway, that's what we do.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to any of the previous episodes, definitely go back. There's some good ones. The first episode, we watched this movie called
Bad Sister
about a nun.
A naughty nun.
But not even that fun. I mean, she is naughty, but she murders.
Yeah.
But she's in love with this kid that plays music on YouTube and throughout the halls of his Monday through Friday, what is it called?
Boarding school.
Because they go home on the weekends.
Because that's a thing that exists.
But he wants to be bigger than Bieber, and he does that by having a high babe score or something like that. I don't know, that's what we decided it meant.
Yeah.
So then every week we determine by the downloads of our podcast what our babe score is. And it just keeps going up.
Yeah.
This week, we're at 2185. 2,185.
Fucking nuts. That's nuts.
That's so many babes.
That's a ridiculous amount of babes that are like, yeah, let's keep on listening to Lifetime movie reviews. Yeah. Let's keep doing that. So if you're like, why do these girls keep fucking doing this? Why do you keep turning in? Because if no one was downloading this shit, we probably
that's not true.
We'd still be alone in this room doing that.
So we really appreciate you. There's 3 people that we especially want to appreciate this week because we do have a Patreon. So if you like what you're listening to, and the rest of the podcast, this is just us priming you.
Yeah.
If you like the rest of it and you want more, like you want to see my Halloween socks, or you want to see my dogs sometimes, or like you want to watch the movies with us, you want to see Kayla put her feet in spaghetti, please, for the love of God, will someone choose that?
Please do it.
We have a Patreon, and we have a few new patrons. I think that's what you, like,
patrons,
you call them patrons,
donors.
Right? Yeah. Good friends.
Yeah, excellent.
Babes. We have a few new babes in our life.
Babes.
Amanda, I love you. You're amazing. I'm glad we've been friends for this long. Thank you so much for supporting us. Derek, you are a sweet baby angel, and I love you. And Karen, she watched a movie with us today, so we're so stoked to have you. And
yeah, you're
we're stoked
incredible,
that you're
Karen.
part of our babe score group friendship circle.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I'm real tired. I'm like really struggling with words. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry. We'll get through this together.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So that's what we do and what we're all about. The links to everything will be in the show notes / on the internet on Bad Copy.
Yep.
On our Facebook. Anyway, so Kayla.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Today, I'm drinking another diet sugar-free rock star while chiefing on a PAX. And I'm smoking today blackberry kush.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you? What are you drinking?
I am drinking a Greek white wine. I don't remember what it was called. A Certico.
A Certico.
I might not be saying that right. I'm not quite sure. But, yeah, a Certico from Peloponnese. Did you say Peloponnese?
You know I don't have the answer to that.
It's a dry white. I'm enjoying it. And that's what I'm drinking at 2 p.m. on a Monday.
So yeah.
That's what happens when your dogs wake you up really early for no fucking reason.
Also, that's what happens when you try and record around our fucking opposite schedules.
I know. Kayla works like ungodly morning hours, and then I close and work not ungodly, but late night hours. To me,
I mean, like, I go to bed at like 7 o'clock.
You go to bed when I go to work, literally.
And it's just like, what? Like, what do you mean you're working till 11 p.m. and now clock in at work at 4 a.m.?
That's like an early night for me.
Yeah. Oh God, no, thank you. No.
All right. So today,
the movie that we're watching in honor of Halloween.
In honor of Halloween, which this is going to come out a couple days before Halloween. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Holy shit. Is it next week?
It's next week.
Oh, fuck. I gotta make sure my costume's all put together.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. It's called House of Darkness.
Ooh,
spooky.
So spooky.
So I'll say right now, I didn't really like this movie.
I fucking loved it.
Kayla liked it.
It was so much fun.
So that's where we're at. Radar slept the whole time, so that's his opinion.
And he is still snoring right now, and that's the weird grumbling you hear in the background.
There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So, Kayla, tell me what this movie is about.
I am more than happy to. So, a San Francisco family claims that a dark force is responsible for the tragedy that befalls owners of their home, inspired by true events.
Oh, we forgot to look up if it really was inspired by true events.
Oh,
like what the true events were.
Bad. I just always assume that they're not inspired by true events.
But then that one cheerleader murders movie was real.
And that totally should have been a made up one. Yeah, so maybe this one is legit. I'll look it up later.
Yeah, if you could all look it up and then email us at I wanna wear your skin at
Yahoo.com.
gmail.com. That'd be wonderful. Just send us links to anything, really. I mean, honestly.
At this point.
Just send us links.
Yeah.
It probably won't even get... It's Yahoo. Like,
yeah.
They're just going to filter it out.
We check the junk mail. I check the junk mail once a week to make sure
okay,
that...
Cool.
Because it is
you
Yahoo.
don't get emails from me.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So it opened... Oh, wait. There's a couple... There's a couple actors in it. Just a few.
Yeah, but you don't know them from anything, so
You
don't
literally
worry
don't.
about it.
The main girl was in a lot of things, mainly dog movies.
So many, like you know the level of actors and actresses you get when they're predominantly in dog movies.
She was actually okay.
She was fine. I feel like she was dog level, like movie level. Like she wasn't
a weird level.
Not great, but
not quite Air Bud, but
no, or Beethoven. Definitely not Beethoven.
She literally was in a movie called Paparazzi.
Get it? Paw.
Like dogs. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's this guy that I just wrote is a chooch douche.
Chooch douche.
The movies he's been in are not good.
He was in a movie called #Killer Post. Don't know what it is. I'm not going to click on it. But I am for certain that he wrote his IMDb profile.
Oh, yeah, he did.
In which he's a mega douche on it.
Oh, yeah. He's like rides his Ducati to work and a Vespa to the grocery store.
Yeah, but mix 2 parts Paul Newman with a dash of John Wayne bullshit. And you're like, what? Who the fuck are you,
dude? He's a poor man's Ryan Reynolds.
And we're talking bankrupt poor Ryan Reynolds. This is
and look,
I
really don't like to judge people on their looks, but he just he looks like a version of Ryan Reynolds. And not Paul Newman.
No. But he also looks like a douche, like in real life. So
his character is fucking awful, and that's why I don't like this movie.
So maybe he wasn't acting.
Okay, so and then the best part.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this on a couple podcasts ago, but Kayla does not like, for lack of a better term, but I think it's what you would use, white people spelling of names.
Yeah, I don't. I do not like it. I don't. And we need to stop.
And I'm pretty indifferent. I just, whatever. But I respect you. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
But the little girl that's in the movie, who actually was, like, fucking creepy.
Oh, she was the best,
great.
Yeah.
Her name, it's Michaela, but it's spelled My Kayla.
My Kayla.
M-Y Kayla.
Yeah, we don't know why people keep doing this. I can't do it. I can't do it.
She was in a spoof of Toddlers and Tiaras,
So she has to be excellent.
Yeah.
But other examples of, like, bullshit white people names is, like, here, like the name David, a nice, like, whatever name, it's fine. But then they spell it Daeved. You know,
yeah,
David.
Like a daemon. Like,
yeah.
Demon, but
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Stop it. We need to stop. Like, we just need to knock it the fuck off. And
my actual only feeling about it is, like, I don't care how you spell your name, but I just feel bad for the kids that continually have to tell someone how to spell their name because their name is Michaela and it's spelled My Kayla.
My name is Nevaeh. It's heaven backwards. Like, stop it.
Unless,
stop it, white people.
Unless there really is, like, some family member that they're named after and it's a specific spelling for that. Like, yeah, all right.
Also, not talking about cultural names or anything like that.
Totally
I'm literally
just
talking
like white people.
About white people going wild with baby names, man. Like,
here's my daughter Wild. It's W-Y-L-D.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then her middle name is River. Wild River. You know, my daughter.
She's like, just a really free spirit.
Fuck, God. It's embarrassing. We need to stop.
I'm sure some of you have. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have a lot of jewels and rivers and sunsets in your house.
I know someone named River, and they're a really great person, but that was a chosen name, I believe.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Okay. All right. I'll just, you know what? I could be wrong in this, and that's fine. But it's just it's feelings that I have. Okay.
Anyway, so her name is Michaela, and she was great. She was really fucking creepy, and that's what I wanted.
Yep.
So this movie opens on Halloween, 1957. There's a bunch of kids in, like, really creepy masks.
Oh, terrifying masks.
And then sheets. Like, it's just sheets with creepy masks, which, I don't know, like, maybe next year that's what I'll do.
I mean, it doesn't look like a complicated outfit, and it looks terrifying.
Yeah. They, like, I think they're breaking into a house. They're not just trick-or-treating, right? They're, like, breaking into this creepy house.
They're just nervous about going up to this creepy house.
Yeah.
And
they go inside, and the door closes, and you just hear them scream, and that's it. So, like Lifetime loves to do to us,
yeah,
they don't give us any backstory.
No.
They never, spoiler alert, really explain
What's
what
going
happened
on?
or
Yeah,
what is
no.
happening.
It's the darkness, Jill.
It's like what was that movie, The Mist, or like not The Mist, no, the
because that's an amazing movie.
Is it the M. Night Shyamalan movie where like the Mist is the monster? I don't think it's called The Mist, but it's that one. You know what I'm talking about?
Is it The Village?
And no, but we've talked. I like The Village.
I'm sorry. That's
no.
the only no. I really can't recall.
I can't think of it. Anyway. So
I'm sure someone at home is being like, I know this fucking movie. Like, why can't Kayla know this movie?
I know my friend texted me about our last episode where we were trying to remember what dolls were called.
Oh God, yeah.
And she was like, I just wanted to scream at you because we're idiots. So then it opens up to an unimportant date, July 7th, 2014.
Yes.
I'm sure it's someone's birthday in the writing process. And this new couple lives at that same house that the kids walked up to. There's a pie on the porch, which Kayla and I had a long discussion about whether or not we would eat the pie.
Yeah, like, would you eat a stranger's pie that shows up on your doorstep?
I'd eat it.
I don't know.
That was a fart radar.
That was a fart radar.
I'd eat it. I don't know. Free pie?
And it is the country. Like, they just moved there. That would be a housewarming present that's appropriate.
It'd be very... I've never heard of a story of someone, like, leaving a poisoned pie on the doorstep.
I don't know. But, like, if it would happen to anyone, would it not happen to me?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you close the door, you lock the door, and you have 911 ready to go as you're eating the pie.
Then it's fine.
Yeah, then, like, the second something goes down...
Like, no, this...
And then they come and ask you questions, and you're like,
well,
okay, so the pie showed up on the doorstep, and I ate it.
Yeah. I ate the whole thing.
I ate the pie.
Yeah, I ate all the pie. But...
Oh, and then there's this couple across the street as this couple, Kelly and Brian are their names.
And this couple across the street
Kayla
are
wants to fuck both
sexy. They are a good-looking bunch over there.
And in the weirdest way possible, Brian's like, you should have taken a picture. It would have been less awkward.
Yeah, because, like, he is getting jealous of the fact that his wife is, like, waving across the street at these neighbors that gave them pie, and the husband is an attractive dude, and so he's pissed off at his wife. But...
she's just noticing them. Like, she wasn't like,
oh, hey.
I'm gonna fuck him later.
But meanwhile, he is sizing up the neighbor wife, and, like, we're having a moment where it's obvious that he's checking her out.
Brian is the worst.
Because he is consistently... probably the worst husband we've seen in a Lifetime movie.
He calls them creepy country folk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Because
they weren't, like, holding a fucking pitchfork with straight faces in front of their house.
No. But that dude did have his shirt off and his 8-pack out.
Would you not?
I mean, I guess if I was that jacked,
I'd never wear a shirt.
Yeah, you're right. Just dropping off apple pies at my neighbor's house, walking around with my shirt off.
Enjoy while I go work out for 7 hours.
Directly in front of your house.
And then it kind of goes back in time to this therapy session between the couple, because it's obvious that they already, like, have issues.
Yeah, it's obvious they're all miserable.
This is I've never been to therapy, and I really can't speak to it. I think it's wonderful, and anyone that goes, like, good on you.
Yeah.
But she just seems like the worst therapist. Like,
no, she is. Yeah,
her advice, like, they're moving to this new town, and she's like, well, it's really great that you're getting out of the city. Like, it's really gonna help your marriage. And it's like...
What?
But moving just... It's not gonna fit.
No.
That's not how that works.
Moving's really stressful. And then we're finding out that they're both quitting their jobs.
And going to a secluded area where no one they know lives. It's a tiny little town. Like, there's nothing wrong with living in those places, but if your reasoning is to fix your marriage...
Like, and I turn to Jill, and I go, that's just like having a baby fixes a marriage, right, guys? Like...
Spoiler alert, they're also trying.
Yes! And in the weirdest, worst way. And the therapist is just like, okay, so obviously you guys are going to need to continue counseling, even though you can't come see me. In the meantime, before we find you someone out there, you guys should start taking private video chats of each other, like it as a diary.
Like a video journal.
Yeah.
I wish you would have just suggested LiveJournal, like...
Right?
That would have been great.
It was essentially the updated version of LiveJournal is what they were doing. And then, with the intention of them, like, showing their new therapist their recordings.
Was that the intention?
I thought it was.
I just thought she was like, just take video. It'll be easier than talking to each other. Don't do that at all. Don't do it.
Oh,
don't talk to each other.
Don't do that. And then she gives the husband a smiley face stress ball.
To which he says, stress is in the past.
Yeah. Get ready, bud. Get ready,
Life's
Brian.
not over yet, buddy.
Like, this horror movie is just getting started.
Oh, Brian, you're a fucking idiot. So anyway, then Kelly's in the house. Oh no, Brian like puts the kid to sleep. The kid's like, my birds are keeping me up at night. Which is just weird. And
then you're like, what?
He puts a sheet over the birds, which I guess is what you do so that they'll be quiet.
Yeah.
I'm going to repeat that again. He puts a sheet over the birds, turns the light out, looks and sees the sheet. It scares him.
Yes.
He turns the lights back on, and it's still a sheet over the birds.
Yeah.
But he thinks it's a ghost after he had put a sheet over... What would it...
Spooky.
I don't know. That drove me nuts. I was just like, you just did that yourself.
Well, I guess I can really empathize with this kind of shit because people are like, oh, this is just so, like, unbelievable. But that's the kind of shit that I get scared about.
Well, I know, but that's, like, you would watch that on a reality show. Like, I'm not trying to get scared by some dude, like, scaring himself in his own house. That's not why I'm watching this. Anyway, so... Then we find out that the wife is a massage therapist.
Yes, through a video diary session.
The video journal entry by her.
Yeah, and she's really upset to have left her business behind, and is kind of worried if she's going to be able to get clients in this tiny town. And she brings up that Brian has always been jealous and unsupportive of her business because...
She's touching other humans.
Is touching other male clients, and that's really upsetting for him, and she doesn't really know how to.
Do you know what the answer? The answer to that is? Leaving him.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, this
because that is indicative of someone who doesn't trust you.
Yeah,
and if you're already married with like a 9-year-old child. I don't think he's going to start trusting you.
No, I don't think it's going to start at all. And I kept on waiting for it to, like, come out that, like, she had an affair and that was one of the reasons why they moved. But that never happened. He was just literally that jealous.
We don't know why he's jealous other than he's just a jealous person.
Then he's just, like, a fucking dickhead.
At one point in the movie, he says, at least I didn't cheat. But no one ever talks about...
No.
Anyone else cheating?
No, at no point. So it's just like what?
So then she, with her door open, is making this video journal, and he, like, throws the stress ball in or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
He interrupts her, and she's like, this is private, even though my door's wide open.
And I'm talking in a very loud, clear, succinct voice.
Then he's like, why don't we have some adult time?
Ooh la la, let's make a baby.
But then he just goes and works in his shop.
Yeah.
And she's like wearing her lingerie, like waiting for him.
Yeah, what's up, ma'am?
You invited me to adult time.
Yeah. Where are you at?
Where's the adult time?
Yeah.
Did you mean your shop?
Like, I thought I was
Having a
going to
job?
get some wood, not you playing with your wood in the shed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sexy.
He's too busy to make a baby.
I know the language of love. Delicious.
They don't talk about it until the morning because
why would you?
there's no reason to bring it up in the moment.
Yeah.
So she just like watches him work in his shop with her lingerie and is upset, but then just goes to bed. And then in the morning he's like, well, you were asleep.
Yeah, and he's just like, he's just like, I'm really trying to get this business going. Like, that means I need to work. And then he drives off and takes his video journal in the car, where he's just like she doesn't understand the pressures of being the sole provider for this family, and she's so sad about her massage business, but I know
her business.
I know what she was really doing instead of massaging people. And we're like, man, you're going hard early. Yeah, you know, like we hated Brian instantly.
Okay, have you ever watched Vanderpump Rules?
I haven't yet.
Okay, there's one episode, I swear this is relevant.
Yeah.
There's one episode where Jax, one of the servers, shows up to someone's birthday, like, at the end of the night, and this could be editing, but he shows up and takes, like, they all have shots in front of them for all of them to take together, and he takes all 7 shots himself.
What?
And I just kind of feel like that's Brian, like, here I am, I'm fucking on, and I am ready to go!
If I literally walked up to a bar
die.
and took 7 shots in a row, I'd be fucking dead.
I watched it and I was like, what?
Also, how pissed would you be if, like,
his girlfriend was very
oh
pissed.
my god.
That was a fun episode. Anyway,
I need to watch that show. It sounds like garbage.
It is garbage.
Yeah, I love it. I fucking love it.
Oh yeah, and I wrote, he quote unquote has to work to afford their lifestyle of moving out to this fucking mansion in the woods. Like,
it's just the choices this family has made.
I don't understand.
Before they get to the haunted house is already a horror
Like,
show.
I know that San Francisco is expensive, so I'm not saying that, like, they weren't already, they might be getting a better deal out in the country.
Yeah, for sure.
But it doesn't seem like neither of them had a job when they moved. Like, they had no plan in place, as far as we know.
No.
Who fucking knows?
Who fucking knows?
They don't tell us anything.
No.
Then
Okay.
there's a couple different moments where, like, the daughter is really creepy. Like, she's, like, in a window, but then all of a sudden she's right next to them, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and she's starting to get, like, dark circles under her eyes, like she's not sleeping at night, and she's starting to kind of talk weird sometimes.
Sometimes
like,
she shows up with a sheet over her
head in the kitchen for no reason, and then, like, kind of...
and then it's just there.
Saunters off.
Then they're all having dinner, and the dad, he's just, like, honestly, he's pretty triggering. Like, he's so fucking awful and manipulative and gaslighting. And they're all sitting there on the floor at dinner, even though they have a fully furnished house.
We don't understand their choices.
And he's wasted.
Yeah, as you do.
He's just, like, berating the mom in a nice way. Like, he's just gaslighting her in front
100%.
of their daughter. Being a fucking dick.
Yeah. And I just, for me, as horrible as that was to watch and, like, see Brian be such a dick, it really fed into this, like, something is making these people be driven crazy, you know, like, already.
Like that's how he was.
Yeah, probably. But obviously the house, like, escalated it.
Or the whiskey.
Yeah, because he also had a drinking problem. But, you know.
We're almost to the part where he's like, she's like, I'm not drunk. Well, I'm not either.
Well, no one said you were, buddy, but when you scream being defensive,
it's a little weird.
It's a little weird. So then they're putting Sarah down to bed, and she's
talking about the birds again.
Yeah, she's talking about these fucking birds. These poor fucking birds. She's like,
what were their names? Like Buster
and Chomper. Yeah, and she was complaining about like they keep chirping all night. They weren't doing this back in the city. Like
There's
I don't know what's going on.
so many rooms in that house to put those fucking birds in. Why are they in her room?
I don't fucking know. I don't know at all. And her mom's just like, oh, I'm sure the move just riled him up. They'll calm down. It'll be fine. Like, just ignore it. Go to bed. Shut the fuck up, child.
Bye.
Yeah, my life is terrible. You need to go to bed so I can drink
Dad's
more wine.
Dad's an asshole. He's drunk right now. Yeah. Can you just shut up?
And I need to get drunk and fall asleep, please. And as Kelly turns off the light on her daughter, you hear a whisper saying, I just want to cut off all of their heads. And Kelly hears it and is like,
and does nothing!
She turns the light back on and stares at her daughter's face, and her daughter is awake, staring back at her, real creepy. And Kelly says nothing. Says fucking nothing. You know what I'd say to that child?
What did you just say?
Pack your fucking bags. You're sleeping in the front yard. Like, you are out of this house.
She doesn't need to pack her bag. Just get out.
No, get out. Just get the fuck out.
But at the very least, like, sorry, honey, what did you say?
Yeah, what did you say? Like, what? Are you threatening to kill your pets? Address
she just walks away.
Address it, y'all. If your kid starts talking about killing their pets, address it.
No. Talk about it in your video journal. Okay? Use the appropriate resources you have available to you.
Oh shit, Rockstar went up my nose.
Sorry.
For real. Oh my god.
This is, for all of our Patreon subscribers, this is our video journal.
Yep, this is it.
So then Brian's working in the shop as he does. And he like has this nightmare where he goes in the house and his wife is dead on the floor and she's like, "It's your fault." And then, because he's so creeped out, he, like, wakes up with a knife in his hand or something.
Yes,
he stabbed the
table.
And then he goes in the house and he's like, I need to make sure everyone's okay, but I'm going to check on my daughter first, because fuck my wife.
Yeah. I hate that bitch. I hate that bitch so much.
Glad she's dead.
She rubs men.
And his daughter's not there. And then he goes in the room and Kelly's dead asleep. He's like, Kelly, are you awake? Kelly, are you,
Kelly!
Are you there? Sarah's not in her room. Do you know where she is? And she's like, what? And he's like, she's not there! Where is she?
So they search the whole house, and they can't find her, and then Kelly goes outside, and they kind of have,
this is, like, the only creepy part to me, honestly.
And there's kind of, like, these, like, orange groves. Like, it looks kind of like a farm with fruit trees, and you see off in the distance someone in a really creepy 1950s ghost costume. And she's like, Sarah, like you're
again,
hello,
just like assuming it's her daughter.
Like, what are you doing?
Where'd you get that sheet from?
And the ghost like walks into like the tree line, and so she moves to follow it, and her daughter is like there and in her face, just like standing there with her eyes open. In a nightgown, no sheet.
And she's like, what are you doing? And Sarah's like, I was hiding from the darkness.
Hiding from the darkness.
Then she asks another question, and Sarah's like, can I get ice cream or something? And then, like, they just drop it and don't talk about it again.
Yeah, dude, like, this is where, like, this is why I'm not a parent, is because if I had a kid doing this shit, telling you.
Well, okay, but
I'm
you
telling
wouldn't
ya.
just, like, be like, oh, yeah, okay, ice cream? Yeah, totally, let's go do that.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about this. It's totally
Yes,
fine.
I would. And then the next day I would drive them to Disneyland and I would leave them there.
Mm.
Like, and be like, you live here at the park now. Goodbye.
I mean, that's a good life. Then the dad plays detective and he discovers that the birds' heads have been cut off.
Yes. What?
And he's like, the splatter of blood is on the inside of the sheet, so it must have happened inside the cage.
How do you know that? Like,
he doesn't, Kayla, he doesn't know. He doesn't. No. He doesn't know anything. He's an idiot. Anyway, and the mom's like, well, we didn't do it, so it must have been our daughter. And then that's the end of the conversation.
Yeah, and once again, they do not address it to their daughter. I'm pretty sure they just told her that her birds died, and then they buried the birds.
Yep, that was it.
Like, they weren't like, so, it's funny, your birds' heads popped off their bodies.
After hearing you say, I want to cut off their heads.
Yeah, and they're in your room.
And you were weirdly in the forest last night.
Yeah, so, did you cut off these birds' heads?
Do you know anything about this?
Is that...
Did you hear something?
Oh, okay.
Were they annoying last night? It's fine.
I don't know, yeah.
Don't worry. You know what?
Let's just
have a funeral.
I don't even want to know. We'll just, we'll...
Oh, boy, Radar.
Oh, was it a bad fart?
Oh, God.
Oh! Oh, it's one you could taste.
Oh, that's like
God.
one of the worst.
That's really bad.
Oh, my God.
Boy.
I don't know what to
do. Talk through it.
Okay.
Talk through it.
Okay, so then their cousin is coming for the night. We think that it's Sarah's or Kelly's sister.
Yeah.
But either we weren't listening or it wasn't clear. It's always hard to tell.
We also just could not care either.
But before that, she tells him that that's happening, like they're coming for one night.
Yeah.
And then Brian has his video journal, and it's the worst one.
Oh, it is.
And it's where he's talking about how much he hates her business. I know, it just won't quit.
No. We are trapped in here with it.
And he's like, she'd always oil them up, and I know what she's doing. And essentially, he's, calling her a whore without using the word. Mm-hmm. That's what he wanted to say.
Yeah, 100%.
And then he's also, she would oil them up, and not, the old or the fat ones, because those would be the only ones that she would fuck up to him.
Yes.
Which is...
Yeah. What do you say to that?
Fuck you!
Fuck you, Brian!
Fuck you, Brian!
Fuck you, Brian!
One, there's no evidence that she's cheating on him.
Not
Two,
even a little.
Whether or not they're young or fat or skinny or old, that has no bearing on whether or not she's fucking them because she oiled them up for a massage.
No.
So, fuck you. But he's just talking about how much he hated her business because he thinks that she was cheating on him. And again, we have no evidence that was happening. No. He's just being a controlling piece of shit.
Yeah, he's just paranoid. And an asshole.
Then, so they show up. The cousin and the auntie show up.
Yeah.
And Sarah and the cousin Mason, are in the living room. And she has, this toy car. And she sets it down. And then it just starts driving. Ooh. And he's like, whoa, do you got some marbles?
Yeah.
Which she does. She has a whole bag of
them. A whole bag of marbles. And Sarah's just like, yeah, my dad said that old houses have crooked floors. So they're just going to play with the crooked floors and see where that goes. Well, they fuck around with some marbles, and the marbles roll
the
opposite way underneath the basement door. And down the basement stairs.
And Mason's like, I'm going to follow those. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, but Sarah is whispering, don't go in there. But not audibly telling him
to herself.
Yeah, just being like, don't go in there.
This is a bad idea.
Yeah, dude, you don't want to do that.
Oh, no, the door's closed.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
And so he opens up the door since no one audibly told him not to. And the door slams shut on him and he starts screaming.
And then he stops screaming and there's no noise.
And that's even scarier. And then it goes back to Sarah, and then in her normal speaking voice says, you shouldn't have gone down there. I told you.
No one likes to hear I told you so, Sarah. Yeah. Then it's the best part of the entire movie. Kelly and her sister Jamie, the mom of Mason, go down there because they're like, oh, fuck, what happened? And they go down there, and I don't know if it's a marble or what, but Kelly just trips like she's a fucking one of the Three Stooges, and it is the funniest thing. We watched it twice. I'm sorry. I'm 12 years old. It's fucking funny.
It was a perfect, like, fail video moment.
And Jamie's just like, oh, whatever. Like, Mason, are you okay? You look fine, but I'm gonna not give a fuck about my sister falling on concrete on her back.
Yeah, fuck her.
Then I wrote they find new creepy children. Oh!
Yeah, because Kelly's doing a video log, that night, and she hears a noise and, like, sees some shadows in the hallway, and so she leaves her bedroom, and there are two kids wearing creepy 1950s Halloween masks standing at the end of the hallway. And she thinks it's Mason and Sarah, so she's like, hey guys, like, y'all need to go the fuck to bed. It's mommy's wine time. But she opens up the door
Kelly.
to their bedroom, and the kids are actually passed out in sleeping bags on the floor.
What?
And then she looks up back down the hallway, and there's nothing there. Ooh.
Then, good old buddy Brian comes back in the house, and he sees Jamie, like, closing her bedroom door to go to bed, and he sees the hot neighbor dude that doesn't have a shirt on in the room with her. And he's like, what the fuck? She's married? And he goes and tells Kelly.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, like, that seems like that wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, my sister wouldn't cheat on her husband. Like...
And he's like, well, she was, so let's go confront her. And she's like, I don't think we need to do that. And Brian's like, well, I'm a man, so...
Yeah, this is what men do.
I need to fucking take care of this right now.
Yeah.
So he, like, slams into the room, and he's like, where's the dude? And he, like, looks out the window and sees that guy walking away, like, smirking at him.
Yeah.
It's not entirely clear that anyone else has noticed this man, so we think it's a ghost.
Yeah, we think that these neighbors are ghosts.
And then Jamie's just like, yeah, no, like, Mark and I are fine. My husband and I are fine. Like, there's no one in the room with us. You're just projecting, Brian.
Yes.
And that's when he's like, oh, right before that was when Kelly was like, I'm not drunk, like, I'm not crazy, I saw these kids.
Yeah.
And Brian was like, well, I'm not drunk either.
That's why I'm gonna react very poorly.
It's fine.
Smash into this room like Donkey Kong and
really
accuse you of cheating. Yeah, it was wild. Like,
but Jamie was the fucking MVP, and
100%.
she's like, nah, dude, you suck, and I'm not fucking anybody. And she just tells it like it is, and, like, says that he's a jealous piece of shit.
And then takes her kid and leaves, and is like, and we're leaving right now.
And he's like, well, why isn't Mark here tonight?
Yeah.
And she's like, because he fucking hates you.
Yeah, because you're a big old dickbag.
Because you're the worst.
Oh, God, yeah. So we were all pretty stoked with Jamie. And then, yeah, Jamie got Mason up and was like, we're going home.
Bye.
See y'all never.
Yeah.
And I hope y'all die in this house.
And then, they go to bed, and everything's fine.
Everything's totally fine.
They wake up, and Kelly's like, I need a day without Dad. Just cause. Like, we're fine, but, like,
Mm-hmm.
So she takes Sarah, and they go out for pizza and a movie, which is, an ideal day.
Absolutely.
They come back and, like, tell him all about it, and Sarah's like, but I wish you were there. And honestly, I don't really know what he said, because I don't
He was
fucking
just kind
care.
of like, well, that sounds like an awesome day, just like your mother. Awesome. And it was like,
that's right, he does that manipulative bullshit
again.
was
so creepy and so aggressive that you're like, I told Jill, it was like a Jack Nicholson in The Shining moment. Like, he was, like, truly frothing at the fucking mouth crazy.
It's just, like, I've said before, like, I had an emotionally abusive ex-boyfriend, and some of the things that he says are those sorts of things where it's like, I'm going to build you up in this moment because I need you to be on my side, but then I'm going to tell you that you're a fucking whore.
Yeah.
And, like, really break you down when you think that we're fine. Like,
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's a normal relationship, right?
Oh, he's just the worst. Then the hot neighbor Ellen,
yes,
shows up while Brian's doing his video journal, so he leaves his video camera on. And she shows up and she's like, "Hi," and then like caresses his whole body to be like, "Hello, neighbor."
Yes, essentially dry humps him. Like,
and
hello,
then
neighbor.
And then they ghost fuck.
Yeah, they ghost fuck on his workshop table.
After she asks for white wine, and he's like, "No, but we have beer."
Yeah.
Yeah. So they ghost fuck. For some reason, he wakes up and it like needs to put all of his sharp objects away.
Yeah, he like freaks out because there was like another instance of like him waking up next to like a butcher knife.
And that creeped him out. Like, it wasn't indicative of him touching it or doing anything with it.
Yeah.
He was just like, "Oh, or a knife in my shop next to me?"
Yeah, and so he literally, like, tears all the saws off the walls and locks it all in a safe, but it's just, once again, it's bizarre.
Weird.
And he's not stressed out at all that he just cheated on his wife.
Kayla,
Like
it's
that,
fine.
It's totally fine.
It's fine. She cheated. He could cheat.
Yeah.
Um,
And then that next morning, Kelly sees a ghost in the kitchen.
Oh.
In the dining room. She walks in just like getting breakfast ready and walks in and
the whole
there's a ghost
family
family
like having the dinner or something.
And she is totally freaked out by that because like the family's all like dead at the dinner table. And so she confronts Brian and she's like, "Look, like I want to move back to the city. Like this house is haunted. Like something's not right here. I've been seeing all these things. Like we have to get out." And he like pretty much like threatens her not to leave. And it's just like, "If you take my daughter away, like, I will get custody back, and I'll tell them you're crazy and seeing ghosts." And she's like, "Man, you're crazy. Like, you're the crazy drunk one. Like, you won't get custody." But essentially, like, that doesn't get Kelly to take her daughter and leave and chance that custody thing.
He's too manipulative and, like, he has the power, at least, like, assumed power in their relationship. Like, she not lets him have the power, but like doesn't feel, it seems at least, like she has a say in the conversation, and I think she's worried about what he would do if she took her daughter.
Yeah.
And then he like flips the fuck out and he's like, "You can't take my fucking daughter," and like almost stabs her in her sleep, but then Sarah comes up and like interrupts it and he's like, "Oh, everything's fine, like just go back to bed, don't worry about it."
Yeah, it's totally cool and no big deal.
Then Kelly calls Jamie and she's like telling her about all these ghost things, and she's like, "Hey, I saw a psychic one time when actually like Mark and I were having problems, and like I just thought it would be a good idea. You should talk to her, like have her come out to the house." So this psychic comes out to the house and she's like, "Yeah, there's 2 kids trapped in this house, like there's a whole family here." And then she like kind of sees the door to the basement and she's like, "There's darkness down there and it will envelop you and get in you and it won't get out." And she's like, "I have to fucking go right now."
Yeah.
And Kelly's like, "What? What? Can you tell me like what more?
Yeah,
like what are you talking about?
Please don't go."
And she gets the psychic gets in her car and closes the door and it immediately locks, and then she is attacked by like a million bees.
A million bees are inside her car and just start fucking stinging her body.
And
it's insane.
That's weird.
Yeah.
She can't open the door, but she really only tries the front door and is like, "Oh no."
Doesn't try any of the other doors, doesn't try to break in the window.
You're stuck.
Yeah.
Then the cops come and they're like, no one really talks about like how were there bees in her car
ever. Like,
why couldn't you get in? Like, why is her entire face swollen? Like,
yeah.
It's just like, oh, what a bummer that happened.
Yeah, that's crazy. Just those random bee car attacks.
And then Kelly's like, "Okay, no, like we have to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we have to leave."
And Brian's like, "Well, actually, I just got this really big job. This bar wants me to do like everything. So like we can't." And he's like sitting on his shop counter like like wiggling his legs off the side like
Yeah.
he's in fucking middle
Just
school.
like all like giddy.
It's so fun. And
Yeah.
Kelly's like, okay, well, we're gonna die.
Yeah,
so.
we have to go.
That's neato. Then their daughter is missing.
Yes.
And they call the cops, and the cops are like, we couldn't find her anywhere. And then one of them is, like, almost outside the house. He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I hear something.
What's that noise?
Huh?
And they go all the way to the other side of the house, downstairs, to the basement, into a room. And he's like, what's behind that wall?
Yeah, because you can hear crying from behind the wall, which is funny because if they would have just searched the basement, they would have heard her. So obviously they didn't search the whole house. Anyways, it's frustrating. Cops on Lifetime are more disappointing than cops in real life.
Which is saying
a lot. So one of the cops starts breaking down this false wall, and they're shining a flashlight in.
I have to point, he doesn't break it down. He, like, throws an axe at it one time and then uses his flashlight to continually look through it because he's like, well, I don't want to, like, tear down the whole wall.
Yeah. Because maybe...
You already ruined the wall. Just take it down.
Just take it down. And they totally have one of those, like, spooky jump scene moments where he's shining the flashlight in and you see all these, like... hocus pocus
symbols on the wall,
like calligraphy written all over the ceiling and the wall, and then you get startled by seeing their dead-eyed daughter, whose eye makeup is just now black because
she's become a goth.
She's entering her early teen goth stage.
But they're like, there's no entry to this room, like it's fully enclosed in, and Sarah's just like, yeah, I blacked out. And is just in there. And she's like, this is the only safe place in the house.
Yeah. And a message is written on the wall that says, we see what we choose to see, man.
Which Sarah had actually written on a chalkboard a couple weeks before that.
In a trance.
And her mom was like, what does it mean? And Sarah was like, ice cream?
Yeah, can I have more ice cream, please? But I just love this fucking goofy ass saying that is such like a hippie.
Realize.
Like, oh man, like it's just such like a.
We see what we choose to see. Reality is what you make it.
It's just such like a weed smoking patchouli fucking driven string of consciousness that it's like I can't get spooked out by that. Like that doesn't scare me.
No. It's like, man, reality is what it is. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So then they're talking to the cops like after they get their daughter out, and they're the cops are just like, hey, like this house has a history. This old man was like, my father was on the police force, and he told me that this house.
Southern accent.
I'm giving him one to make it more interesting. It's either that or I could sing. I either do a bad accent impersonation or I sing poorly.
Sing it.
This house was haunted. It was really haunted. These two kids died there. It really sucked.
They never. I mean, they did. Yeah, they died there.
Yeah, they died there.
They said they were dead when they found them.
Yeah, so he said that an elementary school principal owned this house back in the 50s, and that on Halloween, 2 kids were found dead in his house, and he was found, like, locked in a room upstairs, like, essentially gone crazy. And then, like, he kind of gets the eye from his partner to be like, hey, man, we're, like, spooking these people. Let's fucking leave their house. And as he's leaving, he goes, I just got one more thing to say to you, Ruth Wallace, and then leaves.
So then there's a quick Google search, I guess, and Kelly goes to prison and talks to this lady, Ruth Wallace, and all of this happens literally in the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
So Ruth Wallace apparently lived there after this dude. One night she was making dinner for her family and was like, you know what would be good in these burgers? Mm-hmm. Rat poison.
Delicious.
And she just keeps saying, like, I didn't poison them, but I poisoned them. So, like, I think she's essentially being like, I was, like, possessed. Like, I didn't poison them, but all of a sudden they were poisoned. And she was like, I tried to I like put it in the burgers and then threw it away and then gave myself the poison so that I wouldn't kill them. And then she went down to the basement and then she came back up and they were all dead. So it was kind of unclear what happened.
Yeah.
And then she's in jail now, and she had all those like weird hieroglyphs on her prison wall with. It looked like lipstick. I don't know where she got.
It did look like lipstick.
What she was writing with.
And then right before they finish talking, Ruth Wallace like reaches out to grab her, and on her arm is a carved scar that says, "We see what we choose to see."
Should that be our buddy tat?
I think so.
There's nothing I want less.
That's it. Yeah. That's the one you're gonna live with for the rest of your life.
I'm gonna get it like right on my ribs.
Do it. Oh my god, with an all-seeing eye. Which I do have tattooed on my chest.
Well, that's fine, lady. But it doesn't say, "We see what we choose."
I don't know. I can update it.
So that happens. She goes back to she's like on her way back to the house, and she fucking video chats her daughter while she's driving. Like, yo, just don't do that.
That's how
don't
you die,
video
guys.
chat while you're driving.
That's how you die.
Anyway, her daughter's like, things are shitty, Dad's trying to kill me, can you get home real quick? And she's like, well, I'm in the middle of like a field right now, so like I'll be there by nightfall.
She is. She's just driving in a dirt field, and we don't know why. Like, you even see that there's a road next to this field, and she's just choosing to drive through it.
I don't know. She
bizarre.
gets to the house, and I don't know, I kind of lost track at this point, but essentially the husband locks her in the shed and takes the daughter into the house, and then Kelly is like, oh, how do I get out? And then is like, oh, there's tons of things in here that can break me out of this room that's built of wood.
Yeah.
But
because it's a wood shop.
She like looks at the doors, like has a chained lock on it, but I don't know that it's connected to anything. She like touches it and is like, oh no, what do I do? And walks away. And then gets an axe and, like, quote-unquote breaks it off.
Yeah.
Comes out, and the whole house is on fire. And she's like, oh, no, my daughter! And then the daughter is just there.
Just standing there.
And then, at some point, we see the neighbors. I can't remember why.
She ran across the street to get call 911 for the fire.
House is on fire.
To call. And the hot, sexy neighbors that we've been seeing is actually, like, an elderly couple. And he's in a wheelchair and is maybe, like, in his 70s. And then his wife is also, like, in her 70s. They're just, like, this old, retired couple that they've been...
what we choose.
What we choose.
To see.
To see.
So then the cops come, and then Kelly's getting questioned by the cop, and this is again where Lifetime is like, yeah, but still, we're not going to give it to the woman because she doesn't deserve it. And the cop is like, so there's video of him, you know, talking about how shitty your marriage was. You just doubled his life insurance, so you'll get $3 million, which I don't know how that happened. Like, didn't seem to have any money. I don't really know how life insurance works, though. And then, he basically is just, like, accusing her. He's like, you hated him, that you weren't having a good marriage.
Yep.
You burned him in the house alive.
Yep.
And then it cuts to a new family in a new house on the property with a goth daughter.
Oh, she looks tight as shit.
And it's obvious that the house is still haunted, and then that's the movie.
Yeah. Whew! That was the spoopy movie.
It wasn't that spooky.
I had such a good time with this movie. I can't even lie. I thought the daughter was creepy. I think maybe the daughter even burned down the house with her dad.
She could have, yeah.
Because that was never resolved.
Nothing was resolved, no. Kayla.
I liked all the creepy Halloween kids that were like showing up and being spoopy.
Why were they at the house? That was never resolved.
The fucking scar wound prosthetics on that lady's
Didn't
arm
look real.
look so good. They look so good and cheesy. Oh my god, I loved it.
It was like someone took Play-Doh and put it on her arm.
Yeah, see, I think that, like, here's the deal for me, like, I love shitty horror movies.
I do, too!
And this was the shittiest horror movie.
But it just wasn't campy enough for me to really enjoy it.
Oh,
I think
really?
that was it. Yeah, like, I like campy, shitty horror movies.
I get that.
And this wasn't campy, it was just like, fuck Brian.
Yeah, it was definitely a fuck this guy movie. Yeah, at no point were you ever, like, sympathizing with him. And yeah, the true horror story was probably watching this abusive marriage unfold out in their country estate.
It was rough.
Like, that
man.
was
That
definitely
was awful.
the scariest thing. But yeah, I definitely also liked how there was just so many, like, it was
Tangents.
trying to be like The Shining in a lot of ways, with Brian, like, going crazy. But it just, you know, Brian's not a good actor.
Was he crazy or was Kelly crazy or were we crazy?
Were we crazy? Because we choose. We see, but we choose
to see.
Choose, see, choose.
No.
Oh.
Hi, Chew? Okay.
Hi, Chew, yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, how many fleece blankets would you give it?
2.
2? I would give it 4. 4
Jesus.
fleece blankets. Yep, yeah, I loved it. I want to marry it.
There are a lot of good horror movies out there. There are some great horror TV shows right now.
Oh, for real, man.
I wouldn't choose this one.
I would not either. I would not waste your time. There's too much good shit on Netflix right now.
Yeah. So,
But Lifetime did a scary haunted house movie. So
yes, I do want to know, again, like, if you look it up before us, which you probably will, email us about it. We'd love to know. If it's a true story. Are you dressing up this year?
I'm not, actually.
At all?
At all. Yeah, I have, I was thinking about if I end up doing anything, I just have a lot of old sheets, so I'm just going to cut 2 eye holes out and a mouth hole and go as a ghost. But I don't have any white sheets, but I do have Tinkerbell sheets.
Well, you could... Oh.
So I was just thinking about being a poor man's ghost.
Love it.
Just, yeah.
You gotta drink with malt liquor all night.
I do every Halloween.
I know.
It's a Halloween tradition.
Just make sure that you do.
Will do. How about you? Are you dressing up?
Yeah, I'm gonna be Penny Lane.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
I'm almost famous.
Yeah.
So, we wish you all a happy Halloween.
Happy Spoopy Day.
We hope you see ghosts, but, like, friendly ones. Or at least get out of the way of demons.
Yeah, don't let them pop off your birds' heads.
Ooh, yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Mm-mm.
Don't ghost fuck. I don't know. There's been that Vice article going around of, like...
Ghost fucking?
Yeah.
What?
Don't know.
I don't... Okay.
So,
alright.
I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I don't know what kind of STDs you could get, but be careful out there. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up so you don't get those boob blisters.
And hey, there's a lot of resources for if you're in a fucked up relationship like this one.
Oh,
like,
yeah, for real.
If you do watch this movie and anything that dude reminds you of who you're with, like, there are people that will help you get out of it because fuck that dude. That was not a healthy relationship and he was a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah, jealousy shouldn't be seen as flattery.
No.
And obsessive jealousy should not be considered, like, normal behavior because that's just how dudes are. No, man. Like,
No.
they're not. And that's not okay.
Like,
And
it's fine to not want your partner to fuck anybody else. Like, that's monogamy, and that's cool. Like,
that's whatever.
and if you're not into that, that's fine also. Like,
cool.
Both of those are okay, but not to the point of, like, she can't oil up this dude for her literal job.
She can't look across the street at her neighbor that's waving to her.
Oh, my God.
You know, like, get out of that relationship. It's not
Mom's
worth it.
perfect.
Mhm.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. And then don't have a baby with that either. Don't try and make a
If you
baby
can fucking
fix
help it, like, good God.
Yeah, please don't.
Please wrap it up at that point, especially.
Yeah. No fix-it babies. No fix-it babies.
So that's what we have to say about this movie.
Don't know what we're going to watch next time.
Actually, I do, because we picked
Oh.
one for the last one and then missed it.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we picked the wrong one.
Yeah. You're right.
But I don't remember what it is. But
we'll figure it out.
You know, be on our email list and you'll know what we're watching next.
Yep.
If you're a Patreon subscriber, you get to watch it with us. Stay tuned to the Bad Copy so you see when a new episode comes out, as well as other fun punk news. We love our Patreon subscribers. Thank you all so much for being patient with us.
You're the fucking best. And slide into our DMs and leave us a review.
If you could go on Apple iTunes and leave us a review. We'll take a review on our Instagram account, but it's not going to help other people
slide
hear
into
about
our DMs. Yeah, because the more people that review us, we break up the algorithm and more chance of strangers listening to us.
And that'd be neato, because we want more babes.
Exactly.
To go along with you all. So, thanks. We'll have more fun for you next week. I'm Jill.
And I'm Kayla.
And we are
I Wanna Wear Your Skin! Bye!